Hello guys, welcome everybody to Mando Monday. This is the series where you guys ask the questions and I, of course, answer them. This can be to do with anything related to Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, CSGO investing, or any current or future update related one. If that's source 2, an operation, or something as of right now, for an example, the Rio Major. If you guys have any questions, Counter-Strike related, Lego, Star Wars, doesn't matter, leave it down below this comment section or any other one of my videos, ask Mando, and then ask your question. It's usually easiest and best for me to find it that way. And as it goes for today's video, well, we're pretty much touching all bases for really everything CSGO related, which is very, very cool. And also a quick little announcement. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button and of course subscribe. And here's a quick word from our video sponsor, Skins Monkey.
Now today's video sponsor is of course Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code Mando to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade.
So here's my quick little PSA. I've been getting multiple questions, and there's going to be a bunch in today's video regarding an operation, the riptide stickers, a bunch of stuff like that, but mainly an operation. Because prices are getting so high, everyone knows when an operation comes out that prices usually tend to go down, and everyone at this point is just expecting one to come. What if it doesn't? Right? You can't base things off of, especially investments, if something isn't going to come. Now, I think there's a decent possibility of one coming out in December, but Valve doesn't follow a strict deadline or timeline. They work on their own time. And with player count being so high, it would be good, but at the same time, there'd be a very large supply of things on the market if an operation did come. That's why I think there wouldn't. They might wait till player count drops a little bit so they can also release a better operation rather than it just being a re-release of Operation Riptide and Broken Fang. And then that would bring people back who left originally. And with Riptide stickers going up so much, the reasons I think behind that is because sticker crafting is becoming so much more popular because of people like Arrow, Oni Pixel, and skin collectors in general. Stickers are pretty cool, and I think people are really starting to do that a lot more now. And investing into Riptide stickers and things that have exploded like that, especially like the stupid man out of foil, I would not. These things are too high in price. They've gone up too high in a very short period of time. That's never usually too good. Riptide stickers, though, they are very low in supply, which is good. But I think if an operation were to come out or something else comes out that's kind of a little more hype than that, those will go down for a very short period. But if you hold them, I would just keep holding them because they're so low. I see them going up quite a bit in the next couple of years. In short-term investing into CS right now, a lot of people have asked me that. The best case, for an example, to buy, there's not a whole lot, especially for the short term. Investing into CS should be looked at as a at least maybe 2-year period of time. You put your money into it. You don't really think about it if that's a play skins investment, stickers, or whatever. Now, for our very first question is regarding Antwerp and, of course, the Rio 75% off sale, which I made a video about yesterday. Go check it out if you are interested in that. Alexander Peterson, he says, do you think people will dump Antwerp for Rio when the sale hits? I quickly answered to this, no, just yesterday. Now, the reason I don't think this is going to go dumping down in extreme deeps, which people are thinking, is because Antwerp and Stockholm are good looking stickers. They are good. They're not going to go down. I think it might be quite the opposite. I think this 75% off sale, like I discussed yesterday, most likely will come a lot sooner than other majors do. So after this grand final today of me recording this video, it'll be 1 day from Mando Monday being outdone. I think tomorrow, possibly on Tuesday the 15th, there's a decent possibility for the 75% off sale to come. And I think people are not probably going to buy a whole lot of these. Now, I also talk about investing into these. Don't think they're going to be very good. But for Antwerp, I think for the teams that got really, really hyped up, like Outsiders, for an example, that hype I think will eventually die down. And that's where I think you're probably thinking the exact same way. I think for the short term of things, it's going to be pretty good. And then before things get really good, it's going to have to go down. So at some point or another in the next 2 to 3 weeks, maybe after the 75% off sale concludes, that update's gone, we'll get something new. That's when I think they'll probably go back up. Our next question up here is from Jacob Matrix, and he says, really not sure if I should sell my Riptide stickers before the operation. Recent peaks more real than old ones. But I'm sure people have hundreds of these things in containers ready to crash the market when they see enough buy orders. Like the poison frog, prices were high, they crashed the price. So I understand where you're coming from. I completely agree. But like we talked at the beginning, and this is just one of the questions I've gotten, not calling anybody out. No one's wrong for thinking this. Everyone on YouTube and pretty much Reddit and Twitter in the CS community has been hinting towards some sort of operation. Are they wrong? Not really. But at the same time, as it goes for investing into things and buying and selling, it's kind of complicated. Now, if you're holding these right now, I would personally keep holding them. If you don't need the money at this moment, keep going. But if you did buy them at at the beginning of Operation Riptide, you do know though that most of those stickers you bought were for $1 for a very good price, same as me. So cashing out $20, $30 in some of these stickers isn't the worst option in the world, but with their very low supply and the high demand, especially if the next operation comes, for example, and they're not good stickers, the next ones, the hype is going to be even bigger for these. That's how I see it. And yeah, I do think there probably are a few thousand left of some of these stickers in storage units and just alt accounts for people. Let me know what you guys think about this question down below. Our next question up here is from Kai 2. He says, I want to buy an AK fuel injector field tested. Should I buy it now or wait for an operation to come out? Another operation question. I say just buy it, because something like this, I don't see it going down too much when an operation comes. Something like this is a little more niche. Obviously, it is a covert. It's red. It's a lot more rare than something else. It's also pretty expensive. With an operation coming out, I don't see the demand for cases going down by any means. People are going to want to unbox the newer case, but with people thinking the market's going to crash for cases, for an example, I don't see that happening. If there was an operation to come out, the demand for cases is not going anywhere. Sure, there are going to be people paying $40 to $2 to open the newer case for the operation. People are still going to want to open older ones, such as the Wildfire, and that fuel injector is in it. The fuel injector has been going up steadily but surely this past few months. I just picked up a factory new one not that long ago, and I kind of just see it growing from here. And especially as a play skin, I think it's not bad, because waiting on something that you don't know is coming isn't always the best thing to do. Our next question up here is from Gustavo, and he says, what do you think about the Talon knife? I'm honestly curious. I went from hating it to loving it, and now it's the knife that will probably stay with me. I switch knives like socks. I can also very much agree with that, but this one can't get me bored. It is fake and I don't care. Do you also have a knife like this for some reason you love more than others? Or the same situation? So the newer knives in CS, I have never really been a huge fan of. I tried out the Talon for a little bit. It, to me, just is a karambit made in China. I don't like the sound of it. I think the Talon Tiger Tooth is really, really nice. I think it's really awesome, especially with that blade. And the blade on the Talon goes really well with some rubies and sapphires, but it's actually not the Talon. The survival knife for me is so awesome. I'm not sure why. I love the odd pullout, but that's the problem with me in the new knives besides the Talon. I guess this is one of the only ones I don't mind with this situation. The pullout animations in the new knives are absolutely atrocious. They change all of the time. So the paracord, the reason I hate this knife, it's too long. It looks like you're playing with a baseball bat, and you only get the cool pullout animation every once in a while, versus like an M9 or karambit, it's all of the time. That's why I enjoy it more. But I guess the survival knife in Ursus probably. Our next question up here is an absolute juicer, and I think it's going to probably blow some people's minds. And if it does happen, well, I think patches could go to the moon. He says from Top 5 Pro, ask Mando. You talked about why patches were bad since you can't see them in game. I don't think Valve will do it, but what if they added a new patch position where you can see them in game, maybe on the wrist of an agent you can see it? I think that would drive up the demand for patches a lot, and of course the price with it. This is a banger question, very similar to the butterfly knife question last week. This, like you said, I don't think it's going to be done. The reason why is you got to think of it this way, right? It would be very similar to Valve adding another spot for a sticker slot on a weapon. That's how I see it in my personal opinion. Now, could they do it with another weapon or agent if they added it? But I think it wouldn't happen to current agents. I think where this would happen is if the next operation, for example, they release patches and they release agents, they could have those agents have some sort of patch on the wrist. But realistically, how good would that look, right? Patches look like a patch. They're not anything crazy, but something like the Howl patch or previous operations one that were pretty exclusive, I could see these going up a lot, but I think we're just talking about with a very hypothetical scenario here, and I sadly don't think it will happen, at least in the next upcoming year, unless they have seen this comment. Our next question up here is from Dignitas Power, and he says, ask Mando, do you think the 2022 Rio Major will be profitable with stickers or capsules? So I've given my thoughts on this. I don't think a lot of people are going to buy these, but that doesn't necessarily mean you should either. I myself, like every other major, probably going to put in 50 to $100, but I'm fully willing to lose that money at least for the first like 3 years. I don't care. It's just going to go there. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to open them. The reason I don't think they're going to go up is because the stickers design-wise are very cool. They're unique. They're interesting. They're really good on paper, and that's where I think Valve was coming from. They have a circular type of background, but also a DreamHack 2014 where it's somewhat rectangle, and it has the hollow effects from DreamHack 2014, which a lot of people enjoy. The problem with it is it just looks like a blob when you apply it on a weapon, and I don't see people picking these over Stockholm and Antwerp in the next 2 or 3 years. But that, of course, is just my personal opinion. When the major does come with that 75% off sale, we'll actually see the real demand behind it, and of course, when it ends, the same goes there. Buy a few, but be willing to lose that. Our next question up here is from Ill Gameplay. He has a few questions in one. I'm gonna do my best to answer it. The first one is, what are your thoughts of the gun gear? Where do you see it in 3 years? So the gun gear has gotten a lot of traction and hype as of recently. Chinese collectors have been liking it a lot more than the Dragon Lore, it seems, because I think it feels a little more refreshing. This new generation of CSGO skins and people who are collecting them and creating sticker crafts enjoy more of the colorful side of skins, the more hype skins, if you may say. And this has already touched very close to the Dragon Lore price on buff, which is saying a lot, because in the next 3 years, if this hype continues and we don't get something similar with the next operation or, you know, the one after that, I think it could be pretty successful. And for people wanting to invest into something like this, obviously it's probably a little too expensive for you. So what I would suggest to do is invest in the things you use to trade up to get towards that, which I think would be absolutely amazing. And the second part of the question is, what are your thoughts on Cato 15, DreamHack, Cologne 2014, obviously Cato 14. So a hot take here, Cato 14 and Cologne 2014, I personally think are some sort of bubble, especially Cato 15. I think a lot of people have them in storage units just waiting for them to get some hype and traction ready to sell. They had a few bits of hype the past couple of years, but I think the reason is because Cato 14 has gone up so much. But if you've noticed, Cato 14 the past year has not really moved whatsoever. I'm not sure why. I think it's because it's reached a point where most people can't afford it. I mean, it was not really affordable before, but it really isn't now. I mean, look at the sticker crafts. People are paying $2,000, $3,000, $10,000 for an AK sticker craft that's on a blue laminate. I don't understand why. 3 years ago, I could have picked one up for $50 off of a place like CS Money. It's just kind of crazy to me. The only reason Cato 15s have gone up is because of that. And I don't even think Cato 15 is a good looking sticker. That's kind of a hot take, but I just don't. DreamHack 2014, it's cool, it's unique, I enjoy it a lot, but once again, it's a very niche market. It's also getting pretty expensive, but they have gone up a lot recently by looking at trends on Buff, for an example, or other third-party sites. I think they're a better version of Rio, for an example. And Cologne, really the only good looking and profitable sticker, if you can open a capsule for one of those, is the Dignitas Holo, because it looks very similar to the 2014 Cato one. And I think that could be pretty good in the future as well, but that's pretty much the only reason why. Our next question up here is from Poe to Tom. A little bit of a longer one, but I'm going to sum it up for you. He's thinking about investing in the Stockholm capsules and broken fang cases once the next operation drops. They seem to be good investments to me. Are they to you? Being me, of course. And do you think waiting for an operation is the right move? Thanks. So I appreciate the question, bro. Stockholm capsules, I see being pretty good, but waiting for the next operation, once again, it's kind of an iffy question. What I would say to do in this scenario is wait out the next couple of weeks, especially for the Stockholm capsules. You're going to want to wait because the hype around those is pretty high right now. You want to wait till that high dies down after the major's kind of over. People are wanting something new. People are selling those, and that's what you want to buy. And as it goes for the broken fang case, as long as they don't touch the M4A1S, buff it or nerf it really in any way, mainly nerf it, the demand for this is not going to fall by any means. The only reason people are unboxing this right now is to get the M4A1S print stream, and if they get a gold, that's great, but they're mainly going for that. What's the main point of unboxing the broken fang case if you can unbox the same pair of gloves in a different case for 16 cents rather than paying almost $3? So I think that's the only driving factor here. And as long as they don't nerf it, I think it's going to be great and solid. So I think it's fine. In waiting for an operation, for me, if you're holding long term, I don't think it really matters, but buying it at the right time when there's hype around certain things is the main key here. So I'd probably wait out the next couple of weeks to make that decision. Our next question up here is from FD. He says, what do you think about the Battlescarred Holo? There's 500 listings on the C market with a solid demand. So me, I love these things. I've liked them since the day they came out with Operation Broken Fang. I think they're a good looking sticker, but I think a lot of potential is still in the Battlescarred paper. It's a cheaper alternative version. It's transparent and it goes really well with, a lot of red crafts. They've been applied quite a bit. That's something to keep in mind. And I think the quantity of these things is for a few different reasons. I think people have taken them off the market. People have them as investments and they've also been applied, but there's a lot of people that have these as investments. I've seen people recently sell these on Twitter because of the price up for 95% buff, and they're selling 15 or 2,000 of these things. That's been a few people. I still think there's quite a few in existence. Similar to Operation Riptide, I think these stickers are solid though. But going into them right now, I'd probably wait till the next few weeks if you want to buy into them. As it goes for selling, well, if you bought at $2 or $3 like they were for pretty much all last year, go for it. Our next question up here is something we're all wondering to ourselves and probably will till the next few years from now, but this is from Neb, and he says, ask Mando, why do we have such a chaotic major in the Legends and Challengers stage? Meaning the teams that we thought were going to win did not win. That's why all of our pick'ems are messed up. Great question. I think it was for a multitude of different things. I think FaZe, Vitality, Navi, all these top tier teams probably got a little cocky. After winning an event or placing really well, you get a little cocky, and that might have been what happened. There could have been some inner issues inside the team. I know Navi with their new player didn't really go so well. They were caught yelling at each other midway through the match. The final one versus, I believe they played Furia? I'm not sure. But stuff like that happens. I think the M4A1S needs some sort of tuning. It's pretty overpowered. That definitely didn't help. And I think the lower tier teams practiced, and I think most importantly, they surprised the higher tier teams, which was just kind of crazy. And that's exactly what happened. I think they played really well. A lot of the top tier people weren't playing their game properly, and they didn't really perform. They didn't deserve the win that day. Not many times that happens, but when it does, it's very interesting. So that pretty much wraps up Man on Monday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some pretty juicy banger questions as per usual. Thank you guys for commenting on the videos. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, guys. Appreciate the support. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.